It is less than 24 hours to NLC planned protest nationwide. We are now joined by General Secretary of the Nigeria Labour Congress, Emmanuel Ugbaja, to throw more light on the planned protest. Thank you very much for joining us. I hope you can hear me.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Thank you for giving us your time. Go ahead and tell us why NLC is insisting on the protest, considering what many have said was a well-prepared speech by the president yesterday.
You said many have said it was a what?
That the president's speech covered some of the concerns and said talks will continue with NLC. Why are you insisting on going on the protest?
I don't know whether people are trying to cry more than the bereaved, because we know what we want. So I don't know how they then know that it covers what we want. Taking the president's speech from the beginning, he said he wasn't going to talk to Nigerians using economic jargons and concepts, and he will speak bluntly to us. And bluntly to us, he told us he has saved $1 trillion within 2 months. And we all know it's a fallacy. There is no 1 trillion. So taking off, that hasn't addressed our issue.
But considering the state of, Mr. Ugbaja, considering the state of the nation at the moment, we have tempers are very high. We have high cost of living, and then you have the IGP saying that they will not tolerate any disorder. How sure are you that this is the best course of action, and what are you doing to react to the concerns being expressed on you managing the protest appropriately to avoid it being hijacked, so to speak, by troublemakers?
People don't hijack NLC protests. People can hijack political protests. People can hijack any form of criminal protest. People don't hijack NLC protests. Those leading the protests are known. Those participating in the protests are known. So if there is any infiltration, the police will know. So we are not a political party. So NLC have been doing protests based on our newfound democracy since 1999. The current president is a beneficiary. We have been on the barricades with him. It was never hijacked. It wasn't hijacked under Obasanjo. It wasn't hijacked under Yar'Adua. It wasn't hijacked under Buhari. It wasn't hijacked under Jonathan. It will be ironic if it's not hijacked under President Tinubu. So such unfounded positions don't hold water. And we know that every IGP of police that has related with us over the years has confirmed that we have never.
Okay, quickly, before we lose you, I'd like to ask what you hope to achieve with this protest, because the president has said talks are continuing, that he is working to address the challenges. So what do you hope to achieve?
What we want to achieve is making sure that the democratic space is open. The president wouldn't have spoken to us if we hadn't said we're going out. And what he has spoken has not addressed the challenges we have. So we need to get him to appreciate that people are suffering more than he imagines. We need to get him to appreciate that we need more than 2,000 buses to be able to solve this problem. We need to get him to appreciate that people are hungry and that people can't wait for 4 months to have food. We need to get him to appreciate that minimum wage is a statutory flavored relief that has to commence 2024, and people can't wait till 2024 to have a new wage. We need to have him to appreciate that the refineries, which is the bedrock of the challenge we are going through, was never mentioned by him, and that there is a need for us to know that the president, in his love for self and country, appreciates that we cannot be importing petroleum products and having us go through this hardship without reference to where the source is coming from. The source is that we are not refining. So we need to get these things on board and then have a genuine discussion and not a Nollywood pronouncement on we'll do. This is not time for politicking. It's not time for political promises. It is time for action. And that action we are not seeing. 2 months after he says subsidy is gone, we cannot be talking of we will. We should be talking of we have done. We have done this. We have done that. We have done this. We have done that. That is what we expect. For 2 months, people have been trekking. For 2 months, people can't feed. For 2 months, salaries have remained the same, while every facility, every good and service has gone over by more than 300% in increase. That is not what we expect to have.
All right, Mr. Waja, I'm afraid as the much time will permit us, we certainly hope that your actions doesn't further strain the citizens' worries. Thank you very much for your time.
We are the citizens. We are the citizens. So we are the ones that are worried. If you are not worried, we are worried. We are the citizens.
I am a Nigerian. I'm worried about the situation here. Thanks again for giving us your time.